Sorry, I hadn't got it going. Start again. Sorry about that.
Say when.
When?
It's Bassin Blanc here, which is a lake formed from a collapsed volcanic crater. It's deep, but it's fairly deep, and I know that there are fish in there. We have the odd heron and things around. And quite a few endemic birds around here as well, flycatchers and olive white-eyes. So if you creep down here, specifically birdwatching at night time of day, you can quite often see some nice endemic species.
Where is this?
Chamarel, on the road down from Chamarel.
So this is Chamarel, is it?
Yeah.
Bay after the sunset. Didn't even have it switched on.
Oh, was there one?
That's all right. Do it.
Okay.
La Morne, the large rock where all the slaves escaped and hid themselves up on the top of it. And after there'd been a meeting that had decided the slaves should be freed, the policeman went to talk to them, to tell them the results of the meeting. And they were so frightened that he was coming up there to capture them. They all jumped over the edge of the rock, hence the name of La Morne. Just look at the colours in that sea. The lagoon and beach at La Morne. This is the public sector of the beach. want to come into proper view. Jetty, where the boats that are digging the sand from the shore of the lagoon, or the bay of the lagoon, actually the floor, are unloading. They take the boats out early in the morning, bring them back almost sinking, bail out all the way back, and then unload onto here, providing the sand load for the island. Echo parakeets up at camp. This is a male feeding on the flowers. Viewpoint at camp, up on top of the mountain above Pigeon Wood. This is Lambourne, looking more or less south, just beginning to go towards sunset. Looking north from the viewpoint by camp fuel station, just turning round to the west. The sun is just beginning to set, but I think there's going to be too much cloud to actually have a sunset. Big rock where the convicts, or the escaped slaves, threw themselves off. These are the sounds of the forest at night, just walking back from Point Lookout. Travellers' palms that have become naturalised in the bush, eventually in from Madagascar. By cutting through the base, and so provide with water. Right. One of the little plants sitting in the marshland at the back of the bungalow, which is a field studies centre. Guavas are one of the big problems of the area in terms of weeds. They've got introduced and the fruits are spread by the bats and the birds, and it's now one of the major invaders in all the forest areas. The hedges along here are totally guava. The fruits litter the ground, and the smell actually is quite appalling. Alright if you like guava smell, I suppose, but it isn't particularly attractive. Big pigs. Water at the end of the track. I'll have to look at a map. The site for Karen's skink trapping. Piece of weeded forest. And Karen just setting things to straight. Definitely working. Definitely working. You can move.
I'm not moving.
This is the Marilong, is it?
Marlong.
Marlong.
Marlong plot. Home of the Maccabee skink. It's funny actually, Marlong is much wetter than Breeze Fair. Just in a really short area. It's amazing how much wetter it is here. The chocolate beds down the bottom.
The forest that's been weeded for 4 years and turn round to the forest that's been weeded now for 12 years. It's regrown, it's building up a canopy at the top. It's always a problem issue with the foresters, but in the old forest again, straight up at a strangling fig, which is on an ebony tree. But I do like this forest as against the guava forest.
Oh, absolutely. Completely different. See the branches still coming out. It's just incredible.
At the top, yeah. I'm always astonished at the strength of those trees.
Yeah. Yeah, the one on the island's endemic as well.
It is.
Yeah, that's the tree. There's this one and then there's the lowlands.
And the banyan trees are coming have been imported.
Yeah. Nice old stuff in
Yes, it must feel really good actually working on a project with drawings of things.
it does. It's just something incredible. It's just nice to see it working.
Yeah.
Real conservation.
For the different trees.
Yeah,
What's the left-hand one?
this one's an ebony.
That's an ebony.
This one's I think it's another calophyllum. And a smaller one of those.
Doing away with
Amazing, isn't it?
the gothic.
There you go.
Very small stuff like that.
Lots of them.
Yes, lots of them down there. Even a few trees.
Amazing, isn't it?
Yeah.
I just don't know how it happened.
It's just some trees seem to just have that encasing habit.
Yeah.
The Angophora is doing disturbing. There's one apparently beauty example which is growing through. I've got snow white Angophora snowdome. Well, it's not a snowdome, it's a tree ghost stone in the inland. Right next door to our bottle tree, which is very dark. And the white wood is just beginning to completely encompass the other tree.
Amazing.
Spreading itself out somewhere. I haven't seen it, everybody keeps coming out.
Go and see.
Yes, it's an that's a North Contact.
Right.
Well-known tree.
Famous tree.
Who put pipes in the ground?
They're junipers as well. They need to have string in between them. Come back and retrieve all her junk which is left everywhere. Funny, unfortunately just gets on again with Mauritian students. So it probably wouldn't be loads of capital things.
No, because there's not no contact to look at.
It's just not being, done using them. It's about things. So we have ongoing battle trying to get them to clean up the all the projects. This is a lovely girl. She really enjoys being here.
You can't see the point of wasting another week collecting everything.
And this bit here is this is all part of the UNDP experiment. What happened was they did all the weeded area, and this bit inside is fenced but not weeded, and this bit was weeded, but not fenced. It's only recently been fenced.
Okay, so that's
So-
now included.
So this was actually weeded for the first time at the same time as this,
Oh, but not fenced in.
but not fenced.
So you've had all the.
So this is just the difference that keeping the deer and pigs out, which is phenomenal.
Mm. You can see a lot of similarity,
Yeah. But just the sheer,
but you've got so much less
So open.
ground.
when you look at it.
Yes, you just haven't got the ground.
So it's all the sort of the ice cream theory about the deer coming in and looking for specific
I know.
endemics rather than specifically taking endemics rather than the exotic stuff.
Mm.
So it only needs 1 or 2 deer in an area.
Oh, a lot of trouble.
Do a lot of trouble. So it's good that they've done these studies.
It is.
It shows that fencing are worth money and the weeding. Because that area, I mean, it's just as good forest. But wildlife everywhere.
In fact, it looks more foresty because
Because
it's darker and
Yeah,
dingy.
that's
And
right.
everybody expects the forest to be dark and dingy.
you actually go and look at it.
It's forever. Yeah. Yeah. Until you know what a rainforest normally is like.
Yeah.
So it's ancient.
So
And it isn't going off. It's not that you've got an edge or anything, it's just solid grass right through. So it's a plant that doesn't need much light.
no, not at all. It's thickets, in fact. This is sparse. There's places on Matthew Ridge where you literally can't get through it.
Well, it's a brilliant hedging plant along these roads.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And it is just impenetrable when you look at it.
But even so, this is still a great improvement.
This bit
Yeah.
to that.
Well, to that, yeah.
It is, but most of the stuff that's coming back up is exotic.
Yes, but all the
You've got privet, you've got different things, but our business
Is that coming in because you get this area next door to it and we did area next door?
Oh, I'm sure.
I
But
think it is.
it would, I mean, it comes in
Brown
back
thing.
into the old plot still,
Yeah.
so it has to keep being taken out.
What's the aim here is to get this weeded and weed this other area as well? Or?
They're going to keep it a bit longer.
Just as a demonstration.
Just to show that it really does work. So they're going to stick with it for another 5 years. It's nice to see. It's nice to see when it comes from the top. Yeah, it is better. And this has actually had been fenced for years. So this is actually
Beginning to get the name.
beginning to get the fence. So it was actually there originally.
So you'll actually see the development of it.
Yeah, yeah. And certainly the times I've been here, I've noticed differences out in the cities. Out there, I mean, that it's been needed for the first time a year ago. So, 4 years ago. Oh, guys. very often.
Well, I haven't seen any.
No? Sheer stubbornness.
Sheer stubbornness, and I think good science,
Yeah,
understanding at the back of it.
yeah, I think that's been a lot of the difference. It's nice because it's only, I'd say it's only the last year or two that all the different extra projects have come up.
Yes.
But yeah, up till then it was just a panic trying to keep the birds alive. And now that they're sort of not quite on the
You can now, well, you can
absolute brink of extinction, you can take a bit of a breather.
and you can use the success stories for getting extra money.
Yeah, that's it. And usually. So yeah, there's a lot of ongoing stuff. The birds are still heavily managed, the pigeons and the kestrels are basically on their own now. They've sorted themselves out, but they have been sorted out.
And they're doing alright.
Yeah. The estimate at the moment is around 700 kestrels, 5 to 700. They're going. So they're not actually managed to call now. They're ringed on the nest. There's no active.
Right.
No sort of hand years or anything like that anymore.
And presumably a lot of the nests are mixed anyway.
Most of them, up until probably about 4 years ago, were known. And then the population really took off. So they're certainly being mixed now. Like the pigeons, up until 2 years ago, practically every single nest was found as far as we knew. Whereas now it's harder and harder, more and more pairs to follow them all. But even so, we follow most of them. We know where most of the birds are. So it's a very complete set of data, which is why people manage to do so many projects and stuff with the data.
Well, you've got so much to base it on now.
Yeah,
You don't have to do all that basic work yourself.
no, there's 20 years of kestrel phylogeny.
Yes.
There's 10 years of pigeon phylogeny. There's
You can do a lot of very
6
interesting
years.
work.
Well, yeah, 6 years of tracking data, 6 years of poisoning data.
Yep.
So yeah, there's a lot of stuff that springs up from having all that data.
Oh, once you manage to track that sort of back, throw the project after project.
Well, that's it, and that's what's happening now with all these MSc students and everything, which is great. It's what needs to happen, really.
I don't know any projects of this sort in England.
No, I mean, I think the success has been that it's been so grassroots.
Yeah.
It's been done on ridiculously small shoestring budgets up until the last 2 years, whereas now they're getting all the big World Bank funding. So that's a very, very useful thing. So it's been done with, like, wooden box traps and just basically starting really, really small.
Which is good because it meant it did that basic work instead of straight into high technology stuff.
So exactly, and it's such a good going.
Well, it's boring for the people doing the original work unless you have to be interested.
Yeah, I think everyone's left it, that's
Yeah,
the thing.
well, once it starts, just the university lecture tendencies like to,
More in-depth studies.
yeah, all that.
Absolutely. Yeah.
That's great. Well, so that's the part in Australia, I don't think it's doing anything. I guess they're doing bits, but very haphazard group regeneration of volunteers.
It's just such a simple idea. You conserve the forest and the birds come back and the reptiles do quite well.
Well, if you can conserve the ecosystem, there's a chance that everything will come back.
Yeah, exactly. But it's used key species to raise the money
Yeah.
and to raise the profile, and basically it happened the other way around. They saved the pigeon and the kestrel and said, well look,
But you've
But
got...
they're highly endangered animals. They need somewhere to live, which is held in the national park they've given there.
Yeah, which is what you need, because that's how you can get food.
Well, that's it. You need to get your money into something, and then all the little brown jobs sort of benefit as well. So, yeah, but it is nice because Mauritius has such a huge catalogue of disasters, complete and utter ecological disasters.
Yeah, I'm sure. I might you find most of the offshore islands that are big enough, or should we say, sorry, oceanic islands, that are big enough to have a resident population. That's happening.
Yeah,
And the ones that are smaller are usually that's the cliff coast.
yeah.
So there's some
Get
maroons,
some rabbits.
maroons saying that we get some food. Oh, beautiful. I always think orchids are just astonishing in the variety of flower that they produce
Absolutely.
and the co-evolution of that flower with whatever's pollinating it.
Bird count.
I'm glad you know where you are because I have no idea. Please see that.
It's nice. I feel so lucky working here because again the freedom that you have that the government's given us, you just wouldn't get elsewhere. I know people that left this project to go and work in the Seychelles, and they've just come back saying no, you weren't allowed to touch birds, you weren't allowed to do this, couldn't do the other. So they learn all these skills here that they know they can use,
And they're not allowed to touch.
and they're not allowed to touch them.
No,
That's the shortcut gate when we came in.
realised. No, it's a problem in Australia because you're not allowed to step off the path vertically.
Yeah.
You're not allowed to pick a leaf.
Yeah.
And say, oh look, if I don't pick it, somebody else is going to chew it up next tomorrow anyway.
And you've just got so much freedom here. It's amazing.
Well, they're trusting you and they're leaving you to set the standard.
Yeah. Well, they know that they don't have anyone qualified to do it.
That doesn't matter. School teachers and geographers are setting the standard in Australia.
Right.
That's the main population of national parks, both rangers and heritage people.
Okay.
And those people set the standard, not scientists
Right.
and biology. I think that's the lovely thing here, that you had Carl.
Yeah, well, he's the one who's
Just set biological standards right from the word go.
yeah, he's just such a brilliant naturalist. And he's an all-rounder. Although he obviously loves to play now.
Oh yes, spots.
He's just so interesting, so cool, so energy. That you just can't help getting caught up in it all, really. So, remember these sort of talks and things, that they go and work themselves into the brain for him. And he knows he does it. He suddenly taps the ball off on the back as they're hobbling off down the street and knackered. But yeah, they just love it, and they know he's got such a good idea of the big picture of what
Yes.
it's all about. That he doesn't get bogged down in the detail so much that he loses sight of why everyone's bothering. And he just manages to sort of somehow get this idea across to everyone who works for him.
Yeah.
And he just, all those wheels then complete off the fanatic.
Which is that? Stay with the line. Yeah. Yeah. Well, you need proper food.
So he's very much of the opinion that you collect as much data as you possibly can and worry about what you do with it. You know, it's
It works, but it does take you doing into a lot more work than you might need.
yeah. Yeah. I mean, he doesn't go into ridiculous things. I don't think there's anything really much that hasn't been used successfully.
Well, when you're dealing with an animal you don't know, usually it's useful.
True.
Left them.
After that, sort of.
Oh, rather than the bird dropping it. Madagascan teneric. They're exotics that are over here. But they're rather cute. And this one seems to be very definitely trap addicted. Main food's apparently snails.
Create a new spirit of openness.
La Preneuse Public Beach. This is Grand River Naya, Black River. I'm just leaving the house and going for a walk this morning to see what I can find and what is here. Just a little community on the south-west coast. And not very sophisticated. And a small industrial group. The house just behind the one we stay in. Quite grand, some of these houses. And this is the track going up to the main road. The main road that's leading through to the industrial complex. Early morning traffic's about 8:30 or so at the moment. 31 k's to the main capital of the town up this road. We'll say it's in the bottom southwest corner of the island. We have industrial development taking place, building sites going up. The country one time was trying to become a highly developed country. It seems to now have settled back into a very comfortable, healthy, safe, interesting, unsophisticated place. Mauritius is an island that is neither wet nor dry. Mauritius is an island that is everything or nothing. It's beautifully sunny, has wonderful wildernesses. It's quite a wet area. It has the cyclones delivering rain, so that it has an economy based on sugar. Drives on the left, and yet people speak French and English with equal facility. When it's asked in the shops whether you wish to speak in French or in English, it is sophisticated. And it is comfortable. These are the salt works, just outside Tamarind. And and very, very like the French salt works you see in the Camargue that have stopped working now. Just large basins where the water is evaporated in the sunlight and the salt is shovelled out as it settles. Looking the other way, back towards Black River, and the peak again, of the settlement at the base. It is a country that is neither a developed country nor an undeveloped country. And for that reason, it's very, very comfortable and nice to be in. Salt works, basins of seawater that evaporate and allow people to scrape the salt up and produce the sea salt that we value so much. I presume this is the inspector, supervisor, in his white hat and white shirt. It must be quite back-breaking work to be shoveling in the hot sun all day long. And that brine must be very concentrated by the time it gets there. Basins aligned with rocks, obviously collect the heat of the sun. Now imagine that brine gets quite warm as it evaporates. bucket of salt. The whole aim of the whole of this work. The buckets have to be carried over to the other side. Those girls has only got bare feet. They must be thoroughly pickled. There's probably a show of pride. They don't need to actually wear their boots. Back for the return trip. Just across the road from the salt works. Beautiful house. Wonder whether it's where the manager of the works lives. It's a lovely area anyway. Salt water being pumped into the top of the basins. It slowly runs down through the basins and evaporates on the way. At the bottom end, the salt is just brushed up and then shoveled into bowls and basins and carried into the huge piles and shipped as sea salt. The girls that are carrying it, obviously it's all been shovelled here, and girls are carrying it from here round back to the storage piles where it drains and dries off before it is sacked for departure. 2 bowls of salt clearly the carrying limit. Mostly runnings and boots are preferred. Bare feet, well and truly brine pickled, will also do. It's Talim and Talimi salt. They all have their own markers on them. The salt shoveled out of the bowls. The basins are now being refilled with water. That's it, running in slowly through the pipes between the basins. And this salt is now waiting to be carried out. Slowly the flow will run right down the basins from the top where the water's being pumped in, and we'll refill all the basins ready for re-evaporation. All the water running down from the upper basins, gradually spreading down into the lower basins and spreading across the basins. This will be the next harvest when it's evaporated. Pile of salt, bags. To trade. The brushes and the shovel. The carrying hat and the bowls which they'll be shovelled into are all lying around the place. Some of the houses just off the road, beautiful places. This is the control plug. Management of the whole system depends on these plugs that separate the basins. The connecting blocks. The importance all the way through the system as this brine is allowed to run down from the top, fill up the basins and then evaporate. All those bowls have drainage holes in them, so the water drains out, leaving just the salt. Make them lighter to carry and finishes the drying process. carrying bags ready to shoulder the barrels. And the shawls to put over the shoulders. Themselves from all the salt that will be dripping down their backs. And gloves go on. This is obviously the dirtiest part of the work. Mates obviously need to work together because it's so much easier to lift than to try lifting all together onto your shoulders. Mixture of the culture. A complete mixture of cultures. It's the back street. And here have a rather stately home. There are some lovely houses along here. This is the beach, just come off that back road, which is a lovely quiet road, away from the main road. And now I've dropped down again, further in towards the sea. The beach is free access all the way around the island. The houses and hotels can run down to it, but your access may be limited. In fact, the beach is free. This is the beautiful outline of the land and the lagoon inside the reef. It covers nearly all of the Mauritius. Just a little portion in the south where the reef doesn't exist. Martello towers occur even here. There's 2 cannons on the beat built for them. This, I presume, is the mounting hill for the cannons that are on the beat. Nothing to do with Mauritius except that it's in a garden on the outskirts of River Noir. One of the lanes in Black River. Another lane.
Stopped breeding them in captivity in '93.
You stopped reading them now?
Since '93. They were bred in the early '70s. And in '74 there was only 4 known birds left.
Never really taken an interest in conservation. Partly because though the hospital where I was given the antibiotics, totally free provision, very efficient service, and very nice people. Another corner in River Noir. Rather attractive. Just on the way to the house, and I thought this was quite an unusual shop. Presumably enough fishermen want to have their catches preserved. And this is the post office. Quite a lovely looking building. Sugarcane growing, the major industry in Mauritius without a question. Vast acreages, all the lowland. Between that and the spraying of the whole of the island to eliminate malaria, that was spraying with DDT, and then the World Bank's financing of it to become a developed country by cutting down all its native forests. Sugarcane growing, major industry and finance support of Mauritius. That, cutting down all the lowland plantations in order to grow sugarcane, and then the spraying of DDT to eliminate malaria, coupled sugarcane growing. This is the major industry supporting the finances of Mauritius. They cut down all the lowland forest in order to plant the sugar canes, and it covers the entire lowland area of the island. Then the World Bank financed cutting some of the upland forest down in an effort to provide jobs. to help Mauritius become a developed country. And earlier, malaria was eliminated by spraying DDT over the entire island. It's had a disastrous effect on the natural fauna and flora of the place. Bamboos, little village on the way to Port Louis. This is the market garden, or one of them, of the village, just off the main road. Bamboos in the village streets, straight up. Leads right up into the mountain. On the way to Montroche, cattle station, Sodia, S-O-D-I-A, with big feed yards, big sugar cane plantations on the other side, and this beautiful countryside at the back of it. The colours on these slopes are just wonderful. I hope they come out on the video. The little car I've hired, but I'm really photographing this for the rocks on the mountain. Montroche, I think. There's a wonderful rock the other side of it that I saw before. On this little village, just perched up in the hillside. The answer to where I am? That is the answer to where I am. Little village, but there's a Union European car, Land Rover, driving round. Probably to do with the microwave station up above. Can't see any other. Just below the village, going back down the mountain road I came up, rather than going into Beaubassin at the moment. These are the hillside, and this slope I've got to go down is right down here. Little market gardens at the bottom, with a little tiny clean village up at the top. A very smart little village, which I was photographing before. On the plain below the village, this is the Sodia complex. Sugarcane near the animal houses, and the cattle range beyond. Quite a contrast in this area. The feel of the mountain is above me. Here's the mountain, and this is a scene of contrasts. Come down through the mountain land. On this ground below, I've seen where the sugar beans have been planted, is extremely rich. There's certainly a lot of rock that have to be piled out, but apart from that it's very rich. I wondered why it was not being used for market gardening. I was told it was mainly because when the cyclone hits, the market gardens are completely destroyed, and it's used for sugarcane because sugarcane can withstand cyclone damage. I wonder a little bit whether it isn't more the case that the big estates can make the money with sugarcane, and the small market gardens are definitely more of a small private concern operation and do not make the big money that the estate managers would want. But there should be a market for vegetable produce from here into both Australia, West Australia and into South Africa, and for the tourists in the Seychelles. Shrines in the middle of the market garden. At Nicolai, I think, a suburb of Port Louis. I hope that's where it is anyway. I managed to drive towards Port Louis and decided I hated the traffic and everything in there, so retreated rapidly, trying to drive to the west. To the east and north. I think I've got round the top end of the mountain chain. And this is the village I've come to, or suburb, I suspect. At least it's relaxed. I could park. I could not sort of sit there wondering what was going to hit me next. A Hindu shrine somewhere, but I've yet to find out quite where I am. It is truly magnificent. The best temple I have seen so far. Hindu temple somewhere. Beautiful temple. Down the side of the temple. Travelling westwards across the valley now, somewhere north of the central range. I followed a road to Flack, and I still have no idea really where I am. Sooner or later I must get to a place. The road from Epinay toward La Nicolai, the lake. We'll have to see if I can find it. But surprisingly enough, I was more or less en route to where I wanted to be. A central water supply reservoir, Lake Nicolai. But it is a beautiful spot. discovery area. They call the Garden State of Mauritius. Quite a very Muslim area, I think. Certainly a big Muslim temple. And I can't tell what that is on the top. Rapalli Garden Districts again, the mountains up above. Again in the mountain districts. These are the hills. I don't know what is on top of them. Looks probably a shrine of some sort. The whole area. Wherever you go, mind you, stop and this truck comes up behind you.
But is a mobile, no?
Pardon?
Mobile?
Yes, mobile. The video camera. But I just like the loading of the bike. It's very large amount. These are just wonderful mountains. I can't resist them. These mountains, I think it's Rapalli in the Nouvelle des Côtes area. Sugarcane is down at the bottom. The mountains themselves are magnificent. The middle one is by far the tallest. Whoever is on it. From school. Can't get away from agricultural spraying wherever you are, can you? Even on little home plots here. Many houses have their little shrines, usually marked by a flag above them. And another one just across the road. I rather like them actually. I might be very tempted to do this and put one in my own garden. Particularly nice temple here. A beautiful tree at Riche on just north of Marlberg. Obviously going home time now, and lots of people. But it's a beautifully clean village centre. That was the Muslim call to prayer that I think I was hearing. I can't see the Muslim shrine. But this is definitely an organised village for some reason. There's a big estate at the gate. We'll go and see what it is. And this is the Hindu temple. Just a lovely tree at Riche-en-Lo. Sorry, Riche-en-Lo. Biggest sugar estate, I imagine. But it's well set up with temples and everything. Really lovely trees in this village. This is the one I photographed before. But it's been obviously set out as a model village. Now that's the reason. It's a sugar estate, it's a big hospital.